यस्य रूपमधिकम् प्रच्छन्नगुप्तं धनम् विद्या भोगकरी यशः सुखकरी विद्या गुरुणा गुरुः विद्या बन्धुजनो विदेशगमने विद्या परं दैवतम् विद्या राजसु पूज्यते न तु धनम् विद्या विहीनः पशुः विद्या प्रशस्यते लोकैः विद्या सर्वत्र गौरवा विद्यया लभते सर्वम् विद्वान् सर्वत्र पूज्यते ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते।
Dr. Dipali Mahapsekar is an assistant professor in the Department of Botany at Parle Tirak Vidyalaya Association, Sathe College in Mumbai. She has acquired over 4 years of teaching experience in botany. She holds a PhD degree in botany and has successfully cleared the Maharashtra State Eligibility Test. Her areas of interest in botany includes cytochemistry and medicinal botany. Her doctoral research focused on cytochemical analysis and antimicrobial activity of a few plants belonging to the family of Euphorbiaceae. Through her research, she has conducted extensive studies covering morphology, antimicrobial, anti-cancer, and antioxidant activities alongside plant compound investigations within the specified botanical family. She has made significant contributions to the research, publishing numerous papers in renowned journals. She has also presented several research papers at national and international seminars and conferences. She has edited 3 books contributing her expertise to the subject and has published a chapter in a book. She has shown profound commitment to teaching by actively guiding students in research projects and engaging their diverse activities and programs, all contributing to the establishment of the robust educational foundation. So welcome Vidya Vachaspati, Dr. Dipali Mahapsekar.
Namaste, my name is Dr. Dipali Mahapsekar. I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Botany at Sathe College Autonomous, Mumbai. Today, I will be presenting my doctoral thesis, which is on phytochemical analysis and antimicrobial activity of a few plants belonging to family Euphorbiaceae. Since ancient times, people have been exploring the nature, particularly the plants, in search of new drugs. This has resulted in the use of large number of medicinal plants with healing properties to treat various diseases. India is the birthplace of various systems of indigenous medicines, including Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy. In India, almost 95% of the prescriptions were plant-based in the traditional systems. According to the present scenario, it is estimated that 40% of the world population depends directly on plant-based medicine for their health care. Modern medicines have evolved from folk medicines or the traditional systems of medicines only after thorough chemical and pharmaceutical screening. Natural products are one of the best reservoirs of traditional medicine. The emergence of multi-drug resistant bacteria and fungi has threatened the clinical efficiency of many existing antibiotics. This situation has been recognized globally as a serious concern and justifies further research to discover antimicrobial agents from natural origins, including the plant extracts. Many plants of family Euphorbiaceae are medicinally important and are reported in the literature with the folklore use in the treatment of various diseases. The members of Euphorbiaceae family are reported to be useful in the treatment of various disorders, including skin diseases, nervine, urinary and venereal disorders, abdominal troubles, bronchial affections, asthma, cancer, rheumatism, dysentery, diarrhea, jaundice, wounds, etc. Several plants of family Euphorbiaceae have been studied to explore their antibacterial, antidermatophytic and anti-cancer potential to validate their folklore use. Several phytochemicals such as polyphenols, alkaloids and terpenoids serve as antioxidant. An antioxidant is that substance which, when present at lower concentration, delays or prevents the oxidation of cell contents like proteins, lipids, carbohydrates and DNA. Low levels of one of these essential antioxidants have been associated with many disorders, which includes cancer, inflammation, heart diseases and diabetes. Natural antioxidants have become target for a great number of research studies in finding the sources of potentially safe, effective and cheap antioxidants. Many members of Euphorbiaceae have been recorded to show antioxidant potential. Medicinal plants contain some bioactive organic compounds which have physiological action on the human body. These secondary metabolites or compounds include tannins, alkaloids, carbohydrates, terpenoids, steroids and flavonoids. They are widely used in the human therapy, veterinary, agriculture, scientific research and countless other areas. The presence of any phytochemical of interest may lead to its further isolation, purification and characterization. Then it can be used as a basis for development of a pharmaceutical product. Compounds belonging to the classes such as glycosides, terpenes, glucosinolates, tannins, saponins, flavonoids, proteins, lipids are widely distributed within Euphorbiaceae. Coming to the biofuel potential of various plants, the ever-growing rate of petroleum consumption and the continuing depletion of petroleum reserves may not be able to sustain the future liquid fuel requirement. This has led to the search for alternative sources of hydrocarbons or similar chemical species. One important alternative is the possibility of deriving hydrocarbon type substances from renewable plant materials which can be converted into liquid fuels to augment and possibly replace petroleum derived fuels. Presence of such steroidal and terpenoidal type of hydrocarbons are found in plants from Euphorbiaceae which characterize them as potential petrocrops. After going through the available literature on the scientific studies carried out on the plants of Euphorbiaceae, following points were noted. There are no consistent reports on the antimicrobial activity of several plants of Euphorbiaceae. The relationship between the plants having antimicrobial activity and their phytoconstituents is not established. The correlation between the presence of any phytoconstituents and the antioxidant activity is not fully studied. Some plants of Euphorbiaceae are not evaluated for their biocrude content. Keeping in mind all these points, it was decided to select the following plants depending upon their availability in the wild. So the plants which were selected for my studies included Jatropha gossypifolia, Sapium sebiferum, Kirganellia reticulata, Pedilanthes T. thymaloides, Homonoia riparia and Phyllanthus fraternus. Aims and objectives of my study: morphological studies of the selected plants of family Euphorbiaceae was carried out. Evaluation of antibacterial and antifungal activities of extracts of this plant was carried out. The extracts which exhibited antimicrobial activity were further analyzed using the following parameters: determination of moisture content, percentage extractive values, total ash and acid soluble and insoluble ash values, phytochemical screening of the extracts, and extraction and estimations of the compounds present in the plants, chromatographic separation of compounds by TLC, HPLC and GCMS, assessment of the antioxidant activity, evaluation of anti-cancer activity, and the extraction and estimation of biocrude. So initially, the antimicrobial activity of the plants was analyzed. The antifungal activity or the antidermatophytic activity was assessed using the dermatophytic species of Trichophyton mentagrophytes and Trichophyton rubrum, which was collected from GT Hospital and Dr. Miskin's Central Clinical Microbiological Laboratory situated at Thane. These dermatophytes were then cultured and the antifungal activity was assessed using the plant extracts. It was observed that the aqueous extracts of the dried leaves and male flowers of Homonoia riparia inhibited the growth of Trichophyton mentagrophytes. Further, antibacterial activity was assessed using spread plate method and disk diffusion method, and their MIC values were assessed using pore plate method. It was reported that the DMSO extracts of the dry and fresh male flowers of Homonoia riparia showed the inhibition of Proteus vulgaris and Staphylococcus aureus. The DMSO extracts of fresh and dried leaves of Kirganilia reticulata exhibited the growth of Proteus vulgaris and Staphylococcus aureus. The DMSO extract of fresh leaves of Phyllanthus fraternus showed the inhibition of Staphylococcus aureus. The DMSO extracts of fresh and dried leaves of Pedilanthes T. thymaloides showed the inhibition of, the DMSO extracts of fresh and dried flowers of Pedilanthes T. thymaloides showed the inhibition of growth of Proteus vulgaris and Staphylococcus aureus. So here the zone of inhibition can be seen due to the antibacterial activity exhibited by the dried flowers of Homonoia riparia against the growth of Proteus vulgaris. The antifungal activity of the extract of Homonoia riparia was seen in the dried flowers and dried leaves. Another aspect of my studies involved standardization of medium for the maximum and early sporulation of Trichophyton mentagrophytes and Trichophyton rubrum. It was observed that among the several medium which were tested, the potato, carrot and tomato in the proportion 1:1:1 along with dextrose and agar with twin 80 was found to be the best natural sporulation medium for the growth of Trichophyton mentagrophytes and Trichophyton rubrum. The extracts which showed or exhibited antimicrobial activity were further analyzed for the detection of the various phytochemicals. So the phytochemical screening showed the presence of tannins, flavonoids, saponin glycosides, alkaloids, steroids and triterpenoids, carbohydrates, sugars and proteins in these extracts. Further, these compounds were extracted and estimated. So it has been observed that the tannins was found to be maximum in the Homonoia riparia flowers. The maximum content of flavonoids was observed in the fresh leaves of Phyllanthus fraternus. The saponin content was maximum in the dried leaves of Kirganilia reticulata, and the total phenolics was maximum in the flowers of Homonuia riparia. Further, antibacterial activity of the extracted compounds were assessed and their MIC values were calculated. It was observed that the tannin extracts of Homonuia riparia flowers and Kirganellia reticulata leaves showed the inhibition of Proteus vulgaris, and their MIC values were 10 mg per ml. The saponin extract from leaves of Kirganellia reticulata showed the inhibition of Proteus vulgaris, and its MIC value was 10 mg per ml. The extracted tannins from the flowers of Homonuia riparia, leaves of Kirganellia reticulata, leaves of Phyllanthus fraternus, and flowers of Pedilanthes T. thymoides exhibited the inhibition of Staphylococcus aureus, and their MIC values were 50 mg per ml. The flavonoid extracts of the flowers of Homonuia riparia and leaves of Kirganellia reticulata inhibited the growth of Staphylococcus aureus, and their MIC values were 50 mg per ml. In the next part of my study, the antifungal activity of the extracted compounds was assessed. It was observed that the tannins, flavonoids, and saponins extracted from the dried leaves and flowers of Homonuia riparia inhibited the growth of Trichophyton mentagrophytes. Further, TLC analysis was done of all these extracts in order to separate the components which are found in the different classes of compounds. TLC of tannins showed that two components were present in all the extracts of the plants, whereas one component of saponin was present in all the extracts of the plants. TLC of flavonoids, steroids, and triterpenoids did not show presence of any common component in all the extracts of the plants. Further, HPLC analysis of the extracts was carried out. HPLC of tannins showed that gallic acid or 1,2,3-benzene triol was present in all the extracts. Catechol was also found in all the extracts except the leaves of Homonuia riparia. HPLC of flavonoids showed the absence of rutin in all the extracts of the plants. GCMS of tannins showed the presence of gallic acid, that is 1,2,3-benzene triol, in all the plants except the leaves of Phyllanthus fraternus. GCMS analysis of flavonoids showed the presence of pyrene derivative in the leaves of Homonuia riparia, while the flowers of Homonuia riparia and leaves of Kirganellia reticulata showed the presence of 4H pyrene derivative. GCMS analysis of saponins showed the presence of colestan derivative in the leaves of Homonuia riparia. Another sugar fraction of pseudo-D-arabinopyranose was observed in the flowers of Homonuia riparia. GCMS analysis of steroids and triterpenoids showed the presence of prednisone M1 and prednisolone in leaves and flowers of Homonuia riparia respectively. Further in my research work, antioxidant activity was assessed in the plants which showed antimicrobial activity. It was observed that there was a positive correlation between the total antioxidant capacity and the total phenolic and flavonoid contained in all the extracts. It was observed that the highest total antioxidant capacity and the reducing power assay was observed in the fresh leaves of Phyllanthus fraternus. The IC50 values obtained for the DPPH radical scavenging activity was observed to be maximum for the male flowers of Homonuia riparia. Further, biocrude was extracted and estimated in these extracts. It was observed that the content of biocrude was maximum in the leaves of Homonuia riparia, and the hydrocarbon content was maximum in the leaves of Phyllanthus fraternus. That concluded my study, and the future scope of my studies is as follows. Isolation and identification of antibacterial anti-dermatophytic, and antioxidant compounds. Correlation of the isolated compounds with the antimicrobial activity and antioxidant capacity. Establishment of the relationship among the plants which are closely related by DNA fingerprinting. Evaluation of the hydrocarbon content of the entire plants. Evaluation of the extracts of male flowers and leaves of Homonuia riparia, leaves of Kirganellia reticulata and Phyllanthus fraternus, and flowers of Pedilanthes T. thymuloides for cytotoxicity as they showed antimicrobial activity. Thank you.
ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते नहि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते नहि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रमिह विद्यते